Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. Open up your door. I'm Santa Claus, and guess what, y'all? I got something to show. I came to bring some Christmas spirit. I got a big bag now. Guess what's in it?
Henry in the running game that got you. It was Ryan Tannehill in the passing game of the Titans.
Yeah, I mean they whipped us in pretty much every phase, and you know, like I told the guys, obviously we're disappointed. Give them credit. You know, we didn't compliment each other good enough. And it's obviously extremely disappointing, especially coming off a few days ago, and then to come back and play like that is extremely disappointing.
Matt, they had completions of 51, 32, 42, and 31 yards. Was everybody on the same page coverage-wise?
No. I mean, we had a couple coverage busts where they got guys wide open and they made the play, and you know, unfortunately, you know, we got to get that cleaned up.
Matt, offensively, you had some opportunities in the fourth quarter, couldn't get anything going consistently. What did you see?
Yeah, we just didn't, you know, throw and catch to the level that we're accustomed to, and you know, we struggled to move the ball and had a couple of 3 and outs there when we had an opportunity to make it a one-possession game and couldn't get it done.
Matt, they're tough to run against. You're held to just 56 yards on the ground, under 3 a carry. How much of a factor was that in your offensive consistency?
Yeah, no, we definitely didn't run the ball very well. Credit to them. We knew it was going to be a challenge. They're big, they're physical up front, and they really commit to the run. So we were hoping to get some you know, play action opportunities, and you know, they did a better job than us tonight.
Matt, is disappointed a strong enough word to describe the way you and your team are feeling right now?
No, yeah, I don't think any of us thought we'd be in this spot, and we are. And to have 7 losses at this point of the season is extremely disappointing.
Very disappointing loss tonight for the Packers. The final score, Tennessee 27, Green Bay 17.
It's disappointing when you have the mental errors. That's extremely disappointing, especially where we're at in the season. Even when we are all on the same page, we're not executing to the level that we need to, and that's why, you know, we're sitting here at freaking 4-7.
Last week showed us a lot of possibilities. This week we just didn't play as complimentary on all 3 phases. Obviously, I got to play up to my potential. Tonight wasn't it.
Tennessee got the better of Green Bay through the air and on the ground, dominating time of possession, while the Packers won the turnover battle and proved perfect in their lone goal-to-go opportunity. The catalyst for that conversion, Christian Watson, who became the first Packers rookie in 68 years to record multiple touchdown catches in back-to-back games.
Throws, touchdown, Watson.
You got to take your hat off to him. 5 touchdowns in 4 days. That's huge. He's playing really well, and I think he's figuring out, you know, how he fits into this offense. And you see the difference that he makes when he's out there and he's making plays.
We got to get the ball to our playmakers, and he's stepped up the last 2 weeks. You know, the over-the-shoulder catch, I think, opened up a whole new world of confidence for him. I mean, you got to be excited about the way Christian's played the last 2 weeks.
Now the Packers have a mini bye with the NFC's #1 seeded Philadelphia Eagles waiting in the wings.
I know we got a really tough team coming up in Philly, so we're going to get back to work on Monday, and I challenged everybody in the locker room, including myself and the coaches. Every individual has something to work on and get better.
Coach from the South used to say, I like my linebackers agile, mobile, and hostile. And the old coach would have loved the Packer linebackers against Tennessee. Quay Walker, inside linebacker, playing outside and playing it well. Watch him rip right through the blocker and to Derrick Henry. And on 4th and 1, from the 4, he drops Derrick Henry for a loss of 2. Rest in peace. You want to see how to take on a lead blocker? Watch Kingsley Enagbare. That is textbook. And he's in on the tackle, and he is joined by his partner at outside linebacker, Jonathan Garvin. They play meat at Derrick Henry, and he takes a standing 8 count for a loss of 1. You know who had himself one heck of a game? Chris Barnes. He was the Packers' leading tackler, and according to Pro Football Focus, their top-grading defensive player. And when Chris tackles, he does so with violence and velocity. Let's run back this particular tackle and play it at full speed so you can appreciate what I'm saying. Here's Chris right here. And I call him a Rice Krispies guy because he plays with snap, crackle, and pop. And what about Preston Smith? Glad you asked. He had a sack and a half, and right here, he misses with the chop, but he counters with the rip, and he squeezes that corner, and he's in on Ryan Tannehill. Those 4 plays we looked at netted the Titans a grand total of minus 11 yards. The old coach would be proud. 4th and 1 from the 4, and the great Derrick Henry loses 2 yards. That deserves another look. The first thing to notice is that all 11 from both teams are in your picture. This is the real deal. All hands on deck, we're going to war. The next thing is that the Packers are in what they call their Bud personnel group. That's where they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 6-pack of big guys at the line of scrimmage. At the snap of the ball, the 4 interior guys all hold their ground and then some. First key to the play. The second key is out on the edge with Quay Walker. He plays like an outside linebacker in the Bud alignment, and watch him. The Titans have a blocker for him, but Quay dips his left shoulder and just rips through that blocker, almost like he wasn't even there, and Quay scores the first hit on Derrick Henry. The pile-up ensues, and when it's done ensuing, all 6 guys on the 6-pack are part of it, and middle linebacker Chris Barnes. And then, when the pushing and shoving and biting and scratching finally come to an end, check this out. You see this helmet in here? That belongs to Derrick Henry. Here is the line of scrimmage. Absolutely amazing. Quay Walker and company. This Bud's for you.
I know they're going to give him the ball, of course, and my main job was to come steaming out the edge and just try to make the play. That's the only thing I had to do.
Keyshawn Nixon back deep to receive.
We got a little bit of a jolt with Keyshawn going back there on kickoff return.
Straight ahead between the hash marks, 10 to the 15, cutting left to the 20, 25, Nixon to the 30.
He is fearless. Whether it's on a kickoff return or a punt, he always wants to return it.
Picking up a block, makes it turn 35, 40, 45 to the 50. He's to the 45, out of bounds. Best punt return of the season by far for Green Bay.
Keyshawn Nixon has provided a noticeable spark of the return game over the last 4 contests. That's an important piece for the Packers because in a game of field position, every yard counts. Now, to beat the Eagles on Sunday, the Packers will need to find a spark defensively because Philadelphia sports the talents of 2 outstanding wide receivers on the perimeter of their offense. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are used just about everywhere on the field, and they help fuel a formidable passing attack. This season, they've racked up over 1,300 yards and 9 scores. The Packers will counter with a defense looking to get back on track.
On low. Oh, it's intercepted. Alexander's got it.
Jair Alexander will be an important piece for the Packers' game plan this weekend. After all, he's racked up a career-high 3 picks in just 10 games.
At the 39-yard line, Jair Alexander comes up with the INT. And the party's on in Packerland.
A second career Pro Bowl nod is on his radar, and you can help him. Voting for this year's Pro Bowl games is live at Packers.com/Pro Bowl. Head there now. Voting ends December 15th.
Back to throw. Watson throws left side. Watson, corner of the end zone. Touchdown.
There's no question the best fans in the world are Packers fans. Now it's time to put one in the Packers Fan Hall of Fame. Nominate a friend, relative, or even yourself. Visit Packers.com/FHOF for more details. Meanwhile, Eagles fans are flying high, and for good reason. Philadelphia has a league-best 9 wins and 21 takeaways, thanks in part to NFL interception leader C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
And it's going to be picked at the 42-yard line. C.J. Gardner-Johnson now leading the league in picks.
Number 23 has a career-high 6 picks in his last 6 contests, but it's the pressure up front that's changing the game. Philly ranks top 3 in the NFL in sacks, recording 3+ sacks in each of its last 4 games to rank top 10 in a number of categories. But quarterback Aaron Rodgers also ranks top 10 this season in passing yards, completions, and passing TDs.
Steps up looking, lofts it, over the left side, you got Watson again! Touchdown Green Bay!
And he's top 3 in 20+ yard throws while leading the NFL in games with multiple touchdown passes. As for his track record in Philadelphia, Rodgers is a perfect 3-0 as the starter with multiple TD passes in every one of those wins. Now he'll be looking to unseat the NFC's #1 seed in prime time, a feat he's accomplished before with a little help from his friends.
Snap, Rodgers, pump fakes once and again, throws the middle of the end zone, touchdown!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, Larry McCarron, along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, the 9-1 Eagles in Philly, I would imagine that has everybody's attention.
Yeah, I mean, this is the team with the best record in football right now, and coming off a big comeback win over Indianapolis right at the end of the game there. And so this is as complete of a football team as we'll face all season long.
Jalen Hurts, he's certainly their best passer, but after watching that Colts game, he may be their best runner too.
Oh, he's a dynamic athlete, a guy that you got to account for at all times. You know, his ability to scramble or those design quarterback runs, whether it's a design run or read option, he's a guy you got to account for at all times.
Now, you played those guys in 20, and Jalen Hurts relieved Carson Wentz during the game, and he was kind of intriguing and interesting, but now he's firmly in the conversation for an MVP. Where have you seen the most progress?
Well, I think just his ability to throw the football. Certainly we knew what type of athlete he was coming out of college, but they've surrounded him with some pretty good weapons, and he's making the most out of those guys. And they've got a great offensive line and just a lot of pieces around him.
Now, Matt, the Eagles lead the National Football League in takeaways, 21 of them. Now, when you're going into a game, when that statistic is a factor, how do you address that in your preparation? At this point in the season, it's kind of a mental thing, or you do extra ball security? How do you address that?
I think all of the above. I think that certainly you show the clips of them and their ability to take the ball away on tape, but you also got to go out there and drill it as well. And we've definitely put the ball on the ground way too many times this season, and we're going to have to do a great job against a very aggressive defense.
Now, they've gotten some help through trades. What has A.J. Brown done for their offense?
Well, he's a dynamic playmaker, a guy that you better account for on every snap, and then they got Devontae Smith across from him. So it definitely creates some issues for your secondary.
Now, the last time I saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson, it was out here when you were practicing against the Saints, and he was trash talking big time. Now he's a Philadelphia Eagle, and he's leading the league in interceptions with 6. I imagine that trade worked out pretty good for Philly.
Yeah, and I would say for CJ as well. And he's a dynamic player, and he's got exceptional ball skills. He's a fearless guy. He'll take some chances, and when you couple his ability with their ability to rush the passer, it's a deadly combo. And they've got a lot of guys in that back end that have great ball skills.
Matt, it seems like a long time ago now. The loss to Tennessee, what do you take away from it?
Just missed opportunities, and there were plenty of them throughout the course of the game. You know, we defensively put Tennessee in a lot of third and long situations, and they were able to convert those and, you know, gave up way too many explosive plays, especially on the back end. And then offensively, you know, especially in crunch time, fourth quarter, we were getting a couple stops defensively. We had an interception by Rasul Douglas. We had a great return by Keyshawn Nixon, and we couldn't convert into points. And we had some guys open, and we just got to do a better job of converting and making the plays.
Those big plays they hit you with defensively, receiver running wide open, nobody on them. What was the problem there, and how do you go about fixing it?
We had a few communication errors and guys just not doing their job to the level that we expect them to, and you can't have that. You can never have breakdowns in the back end because those are explosion plays, and you know, you can live with teams making plays as long as some of these passes are contested, because there's a lot of parity in this league and these guys get paid too, but when you have guys running free, it's just bad ball.
Matt, offensively speaking, a big step forward against Dallas, but then a step back against Tennessee. It's got to be frustrating. Is there any explaining it?
Well, Tennessee did a nice job of, they really wanted to make us one-dimensional and take away the run, and I think a lot of, you saw there was a lot of single high defense, and when we tried to run the football, those backers, they might as well have been blitzing because they read run and they triggered right away, which should open up some holes in the pass game. And, you know, basically, we just didn't take advantage of our opportunities when they were there.
Okay, you guys beat the Cowboys, and then they turn around and beat the 8-1 Vikings 40-3. What does that say about your league this year?
Oh, there's a lot of parity, and you got to make sure that you're on top of your game no matter who you're playing each and every week, because we've seen it. We've seen teams that probably on paper don't look as good a chance at winning, and they come out on top. So no matter who you're playing, where you're playing, when you're playing, you always got to be at your best.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, rookie sensation, Christian Watson. Don't go away. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellin Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Quick Trip and Guaranteed Fuel.
We don't know if this is the coming out party for Christian Watson, but boy, if it is, it's a pretty good coming out party.
5 TD catches in your last 2 games. It ties some kind of long-standing Packer record. Do those 5 TD catches, do they qualify you as a rookie sensation? That's what I've been calling you, a rookie sensation. Do they qualify you for that, do you think?
I mean, I'm not too sure. It's not, you know, something that, you know, I'm looking into much. I mean, obviously I'm excited for the opportunities and, you know, the opportunity to, you know, play a role within our offense and obviously, you know, help us try to win football games. So, you know, I mean, the first thing I'm thinking about is, you know, just, you know, owning my role and trying our best to win football games, but you know, obviously everything that comes with it is exciting. But you know, that's more like the secondary thought for me.
Christian, over the weekend, I was watching ESPN, and you were featured on the "You Got Mossed" segment. You were doing the mossing, first touchdown catch against the Titans, stuff like that. Is that kind of cool?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Obviously, really exciting. You know, obviously. You know, Randy Moss being one of, you know, the wide receivers in the history of the NFL that I've looked up to a lot. You know, obviously love watching his game and, you know, grew up saying, you know, you got mossed, or, you know, I just mossed you quite a bit, you know, quite a bit growing up. So obviously, you know, just to, you know, be featured on that or just to hear, you know, things like that is really exciting.
Want to talk to you about the standing backflip. One of the most incredible athletic feats I've ever seen for a guy your size. But you've actually been doing that thing for quite a while. I heard you talk about it previously to now.
So it's something that I learned when I was really young. My sister did a bunch of cheerleading, growing up. I would get done with football practice, and we'd have to go pick her up from practice, and sometimes it would take a little longer, than expected. So I would get bored and kind of just like, okay, what can I do what can I do while I'm sitting here waiting for her to get done? So I would just go out on the mats and kind of just teach myself how to do different tricks. I've been doing it since I was pretty little, and I just, made sure, as I've grown, I just, kept on doing it to make sure that, I was still able to, and I just had it since then.
Rodgers looks to the air, and he's got the rookie over the shoulder catch to the end zone. It is a touchdown for Christian Watson, and a backflip in the south end zone.
At 4-7, do you feel like you're playing sudden death football the rest of the way?
No, for sure. I think that every single game from here on out, it's a one-game mentality at this point. A one-and-done mentality for sure. For us, every single game from here on out, the next one is the most important one for sure. Obviously, I think that we need to have that mentality each and every day in preparation for it. And obviously, we got to continue to make sure that we're doing everything we can to be 1-0 each and every week.
Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. At Network Health, we do what's right, even when it's not easy. It's who we are. Health insurance is what we do. 4th and 1 from the 4, and the great Derrick Henry loses 2 yards. That deserves another look. The first thing to notice is that all 11 from both teams are in your picture. This is the real deal. All hands on deck, we're going to war. The next thing is that the Packers are in what they call their Bud personnel group. That's where they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 6-pack of big guys at the line of scrimmage. At the snap of the ball, the 4 interior guys all hold their ground and then some. First key to the play. The second key is out on the edge with Quay Walker. He plays like an outside linebacker in the Bud alignment, and watch him. The Titans have a blocker for him, but Quay dips his left shoulder and just rips through that blocker, almost like he wasn't even there, and Quay scores the first hit on Derrick Henry. The pileup ensues, and when it's done ensuing, all 6 guys on the 6-pack are part of it, and middle linebacker Chris Barnes. And then, when the pushing and shoving and biting and scratching finally come to an end, check this out. You see this helmet in here? That belongs to Derrick Henry. Here is the line of scrimmage. Absolutely amazing. Quay Walker and company. This Bud's for you.
I know they're going to give him the ball, of course, and my main job was to come steaming out the edge and just try to make the play. That's the only thing I had to do.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Spectrum One. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Fabic Cat, proud sponsor of the Green Bay Packers.
So we fly World War II, Korean, and Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials that were built in their honor at no cost to them.
It is our pleasure to welcome you to Dulles.
Every veteran travels with a guardian and visits those memorials and has time to reflect about their service, remember those that they served with, and just have that day of reflection and gratitude from their community.
If it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be here.
This trip has been absolutely awesome. I've never been to Washington, D.C. I've never had a chance to. And without this honor flight program, I don't think I would ever have been here.
This is history that nobody can take away.
I had one veteran tell me he felt ashamed because he had never visited his friends on the wall. At the end of the day, he said it was the best thing. I got to talk with them and I got to say goodbye.
Oh, those memorials are just, the pictures don't do anything. You have to see it. They're just amazing. The work that's been put into them, they're beautiful. They just are beautiful.
Music on.
You know that this is an opportunity for reflection, you know, and try to bring a little sense of closure, but at the same time, we want them to enjoy this trip, you know, so, you know, you love seeing the smiles on their face with them and their guardians. That brings joy to my heart.
Dexter can't be a better Guardian sponsor. Boy, they gave me the best.
This is my first time on the honor flight, Stars and Stripes, and it also is my first time being with a lot of Vietnam veterans who have fought and sacrificed their lives as when they came back into the country from fighting over there, they didn't get a way of welcoming, and now Stars and Stripes are giving things back. He hasn't flown in many, many, many years, and he did this flight to come here and see all these monuments and tributes to what he and some of his colleagues have done.
I found his name in the book. Dwayne Arlen Vogel, he's a corporal in the Marine Corps.
It's really important for these veterans to walk away from today feeling that gratitude, and to get that kind of recognition from the Green Bay Packers and their alumni just really means the world.
Appreciate your service from the Green Bay Packers.
Watched them laughing with them all day, taking pictures. It's just a really special day.
Memories that we all made today with the pictures that everybody took. It's just exciting. Memories that'll last forever. They're the celebrities today. It's not us. We have the honor to ride with them and walk with them, so that's what's making the day so great.
For us, you know, as the Packers organization, just being able to support our veterans. You know, we support all phases of the military, but these veterans, we know we are not able to play this great game without them. You know, and just being able to show our appreciation, there's no better, you know, way of doing it, you know, helping support stuff like this.
The Packers and Fleet Farm encourage fans to support our heroes during Salute to Service Month. Purchase a military-themed bandana at the Packers Pro Shop during November, and $5 goes to Patriot Canines of Wisconsin. Welcome back. No game balls today, Matt, but I did want to talk to you about some individual performances. Christian Watson, 5 touchdown catches in the last 2 games. Does he qualify as a rookie sensation?
Yeah, I think that he's starting to really come on, and the scary thing is there's still a lot for him to work on, which is a great thing for us. But he has done a great job of, when given the opportunities, of making some big plays. Obviously the free play, tight coverage, and he went up and made a play on the ball, and then the second touchdown we ran a little crossing route, and Aaron threw a great ball. We had great protection up front, and he made the play.
Defensively, you hold Derrick Henry to just 3.1 per carry. Who led the charge in that effort?
It was a collective effort. I think, you know, that was one thing going into the game that we definitely wanted to take away, and I thought for the most part we did a pretty good job of that. But you got to play it on both ends, and we have to do a better job on the back end. And granted, we put a lot of pressure on our defensive backs in this last game by playing a ton of single high, but there's just, like we talked about earlier, there was a few communication breakdowns that led to some guys being wide open in the second half.
Is Keyshawn Nixon going to continue returning punts?
He sure is exciting, even sometimes when you want him to get away from the ball, and he got a good hop on the one and made a great play on it.
It's worth the price of admission. Coming up, the last word from the coach. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Last Word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, margin of error, If it's not gone, it's getting close. You're the coach. What do you do?
Oh, we got to be at our best, and I think that starts with your preparation and how you approach every day, and being very intentional about the work that you're putting in, and being very mindful, and challenged everybody, coaches, players, to have one thing in mind that each of us has to improve upon, because we collectively as a unit have got to get better in all three phases. And I think there is a lot of room for growth for us, which is a good thing, but ultimately it comes down to action, and our actions on the field have got to be better in order to produce those results.
Thank you, Matt. Good luck in Philly, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and have a happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Quick Trip and Guaranteed Fuel.
We don't know if this is the coming out party for Christian Watson, but boy, if it is, it's a pretty good coming out party.
5 TD catches in your last 2 games. It ties some kind of long-standing Packer record. Do those 5 TD catches, do they qualify you as a rookie sensation? That's what I've been calling you, a rookie sensation. Do they qualify you for that, do you think?
Oh, I mean, I'm not too sure. It's not, something that, I'm looking at too much. I mean, obviously I'm excited for the opportunities and, the opportunity to play a role within our offense and obviously, help us try to win football games. So, the first thing I'm thinking about is just, owning my role and trying our best to win football games, but obviously everything that comes with it is exciting. But that's more like the secondary thought for me.
Christian, over the weekend, I was watching ESPN, and you were featured on the "You Got Mossed" segment. You were doing the mossing, first touchdown catch against the Titans, stuff like that. Is that kind of cool?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Obviously, really exciting. Randy Moss being one of, the wide receivers in the history of the NFL that I've looked up to a lot. Obviously love watching his game and, grew up saying, you got mossed, or, I just mossed you quite a bit, quite a bit growing up. So obviously, just to, be featured on that or just to hear, things like that is really exciting.
Want to talk to you about the standing backflip. One of the most incredible athletic feats I've ever seen for a guy your size. But you've actually been doing that thing for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you talk about it previously to now.
So it's something that I learned when I was really young. My sister did a bunch of cheerleading, growing up. I would get done with football practice, and we'd have to go pick her up from practice, and sometimes it would take a little longer, than expected. So I would get bored and kind of just like, okay, what can I do what can I do while I'm sitting here waiting for her to get done? So I'll just go out on the mats and kind of just teach myself how to do different tricks. I've been doing it since I was pretty little, and I just, made sure, as I've grown, I just, kept on doing it to make sure that, I was still able to, and I just had it since then.
Rodgers looks to the air, and he's got the rookie over the shoulder catch to the end zone. It is a touchdown for Christian Watson, and a backflip in the south end zone.
At 4-7, do you feel like you're playing sudden death football the rest of the way?
No, for sure. I think that every single game from here on out, it's a one-game mentality at this point. A one-and-done mentality for sure. For us, every single game from here on out, the next one is the most important one for sure. Obviously, I think that we need to have that mentality each and every day and preparation for it. And obviously, we got to continue to make sure that we're doing everything we can to be 1-0 each and every week.
The holiday season is here, and that means another joint effort between the Packers and Salvation Army to help out those in need. Kenny Clark and Devondre Campbell will be in the Lambeau Field atrium on Monday night to sign autographs and accept donations for the Red Kettle campaign. If you're in the neighborhood, stop on by and support a good cause. With the Packers off on Sunday, we turn our attention to other action, notably the Eagles taking on the Colts. The Birds trailed nearly the entire game, but with just over a minute left in the fourth, Jalen Hurts finds an opening and gets a 7-yard score with his feet. That gave the Eagles a 17-16 win, pushing them to a league-best 9-1. That's notable because Philly just so happens to be Green Bay's next opponent. The Eagles likely will be the favorites heading into Sunday Night Football. For the 4-7 Packers, the playoffs essentially start now.
It's a one-game season from here on out. Every game is absolutely critical. And they all are, but just in particular where we are today, there's no margin for error.
Now, the Eagles do give up more than 4.7 yards per carry, so the run game could be a potential key to victory. Enter Pro Bowl candidate Aaron Jones.
Gives to Jones, big hole up the middle, cutting up to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone, touchdown, Aaron Jones!
The Packers running back has had a big year, just passing the 1,000-yard mark in total offense. You can give Jones his second Pro Bowl nod by heading to Packers.com/Pro Bowl and voting. Hurry, the polls close December 15th.
Buddy, it's three guys with three things, and Mike, you are up.
Well, Larry, we could talk about turnovers heading into any matchup, right? But this Philadelphia Eagles team, it's particularly a poignant topic because when they started 8-0, they turned the ball over offensively 3 times in 8 games. That was it. The last 2 weeks, they've had a loss and a victory in the final minute, and they've turned the ball over 6 times. If that negative trend for the Eagles is something the Packers can keep going, that could go a long way to knocking off a 9-1 team.
And Wes, your turn.
Just getting back to work, Larry. I mean, I think that's the big mentality. A lot of these guys listen to guys speak in the locker room on Wednesday. This has been a tough stretch for Green Bay, no doubt about it, but they finally got their break. They're taking on an incredibly talented 9-win football team, but you can't really get overlooked, where you're at right now. Yeah, you don't want to sit here and say that every game is must win, but the fact of the matter is it is. And the Green Bay Packers have to put their best foot forward at Lincoln Financial Field.
Guys, as veterans of the visiting team's bus riding into the stadium in Philadelphia, you know it's not overly abundant with brotherly love. In fact, they get very creative with their expletives, but that's another story. But bottom line, Philadelphia's been good to the Green Bay Packers. Back in 2010, Packers make the playoffs, head to Philly as a wild card team, and that's where their run to a Super Bowl championship began. 2016, the Packers are 4-6, head to Philly, and start a winning streak that winds up at 8 games and ends up in the NFC Championship game. So the city of brotherly love, while not so brotherly at times, it has been good to the Green Bay Packers. And that's 3 guys with 3 things. See you next time.
The Packers on the grass, now they're gonna kick your ass. Packers start the fire. Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. The Packers on the grass, now they're gonna kick your ass. Packers start the fire. Go, Pack, go. Go,
might be the biggest catch of this young.
At the throwback uni today, it's going to be a great one.
Shout out Dre, man.
Hey, after you.
Nah, after you.
Go Packers!
London, here we come.
What a good dog you are. Yeah, you are. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Special to the Green Bay Packer organization. Some of you guys may know him better than others, but this guy was drafted in the 1973 in the 12th round. He's played 12 years with the Green Bay Packers. Started 162 consecutive games at center. Was a two-time Pro Bowler, then transitioned to an award-winning broadcaster. All right, he's out here every day. His 50th training camp this year.
All I can say, this kind of chokes me up, but it's a privilege to be around a group of men like you guys. You guys have been doing it right since day one. You guys have laid the foundation for one hell of a year. And I've been watching it forever, like Coach said. And I'll tell you what, this is a year I think it's going to happen all the way. Champs on three. 1, 2, 3. Champs!
Well, Blair, who did my bust, he's a real genius. That guy's amazing. There's no way I can make me look like that. And thanks for the haircut, Blair. DJ Khaled said it best. God did Shout out to Drake and Lil Baby. If you don't know the song, you must get the internet, people. When you play for the Green Bay Packers, a lot of doors open up. When you win a Super Bowl, all doors open up. But when you make the Hall of Fame, football heaven opens up. You want to know why? Just guess. It's rare company. There's only 362 guys in the Hall of Fame. And I number 357. Growing up in Jacksonville, humble beginnings. Yes. Thank you, Duval. Duval County was amazing. But my mom, growing up in poverty, she made us think rich every day because it's not about what you have on or what you have, it's how you act. My siblings were amazing. My sister, platinum. Vicky, my brother Michael, my brother Darian, and my brother Doug. They were great siblings to us special need kids like me. But I want to thank my uncle, Charles Durham. He's the one that came over one day and said, "You're trying out for sports." And he taught me everything I know. I love you, Uncle Charles Durham. My kids, okay? I have 6 daughters and a son. I know y'all feel bad for me. Sharon, who's actually couldn't come because she's having my 5th grandchild. Don't I look good to be 54? It depends on the angle, though, so leave me alone. L'Oreal Butler. I named her when I saw cosmetics. I woke up, I said, L'Oreal, that's her name. Gabrielle Butler, that's my model. Someday I hope she get a modeling contract to help me out, because Daddy ain't got no money, baby. Help me. Danielle, that's my IT. She the one even told me about TikTok and all. Maria, that's my little diva. I love her. Sierra, that's the only one of my kids that's actually taller than me, so I don't stand by her. Now, they say you're not supposed to say your favorite, but my favorite is my son, Leroy Butler IV. Just don't tell the other kids. My teachers were great. I want to talk about Hammond Gracie. He's the one that say, play both sports, don't worry about it. Just play. Miss Gordon, she's my algebra teacher. If she could teach me algebra, she's great, right? So I love my teacher and all teachers. My high school coaches, Coach Corky Rogers, the winningest coach in Florida history. Coach Belger, Coach Warner, and Leon Barrett. He's the one that tried to stop smiling so much and be tough, but I can't, Coach. But my life changed at Florida State. I was a Prop 48. Coach Bobby Bowden drives into the inner city, into the projects. I say, Coach, you can't just drive up in here. You got to ease your way down. I'm telling Miss Butler, I'm giving your baby a scholarship. Coach Andrews, get well soon. I love Coach. Couldn't make it today because he had, Coach be going upstairs and just hurt stuff we don't have. Sit down and watch the speech, Coach. My life changed with the Packers. Now, I want a few guys up here, maybe the only guy up here, to say I don't go and say hello to fans at Pick and Save. I say hello to owners. So when Bob Harlan called me and said, we're going to select you in the 2nd round, it meant a lot to me. I love Lee Rimmel. He's the one that took the call for me. Mike Holmgren, who I hope one day will be up here. I really do. He changed my life. And again, y'all just saw my wife. She's beautiful. And all she got to do is deal with the kids and keep them away from me. Nope, talk to your mom. But again, I want to thank the fans. Without you, there is no Leroy Butler. And again, my teammates, you saw Gilbert Brown, my teammates, I love y'all. Where else can you go, the ultimate team sport, that I can have a bad game every now and then, don't Google it, and my other 10 teammates carry me. So my teammates, I love them. And then closing, the volunteers, I met all 2,000 of you, maybe took 3,000 selfies. I love you, respect you. The voters, thank you. 16 years is a long time, but it's worth the wait. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
The Pack's on the grass, now they're gonna kick your ass. Pack, start the fire. Go, Pack, go.
What's going on, Green Bay fans? This is Romeo Dobbs here. Truly blessed and thankful to be a part of this organization, and I cannot wait to.
What's up, Packer Nation? Wide receiver Christian Watson here. We couldn't be more excited to be part of this organization. Get to play in front of you guys on Sundays. I'm ready to work, ready to get after it, ready to win some football.
You play for the Green Bay Packers, a lot of doors open up. When you win a Super Bowl, all doors open up. But when you make the Hall of Fame, football heaven opens.
Other questions for Aaron? All right, you're all set. Thank you for your time.
Out.